In a suite, Kyle and Claire wake up in bed together. He teases that she slept through her alarm. He couldn't wake her as she looked so peaceful. Claire exclaims that she's late for work. Unconcerned, he kisses her. He wants to make out, but she puts on the brakes. She's glad she brought a bag, so she'd have something to wear. Kyle invites her to bring some things to the suite and leave them there for next time, or better yet at his house. He can talk to his mother about closet space. Claire smiles when he says he's serious. He asks if it makes her nervous. She likes it. Kyle says, so do I. He wants to show her every day how special she is, and how special this is. He has a way to do it right now. Kyle tries to get her to stay and call in sick. Claire is convinced to shut out the world, just for today. He knows she's worked nonstop and is probably ahead in her work for the day. He calls down for room service and Claire laughs. You are incorrigible. They pillow fight and kiss. Nikki runs into Jack when she enters society. He asks her to join him and update him on how things are going at Chancellor. He's thrilled for her. She questions if that's true or if he's putting on an act because they're friends. Jack squints at her, confused by the barb and her tone. They sit, and Nikki clarifies that she doesn't doubt Jack is happy for her, but it's complicated because of Billy. They go over the stress not driving her back to drink. Jack admits she's at the top of her game. Nikki revisits taking Billy's place. Jack tells her he loves any chance to rail at the mustache, but this situation isn't one of them. Nikki's surprised by him passing up an opportunity to slam Victor. Jack admits he's fine with what Victor did, although not the way he did it. It made Billy take a long, hard look at himself. He thinks his brother has finally found himself and has let go of his grudges. That never would have happened otherwise. He's grateful Victor acted despicably true to form. Nikki thought she'd hear him say he was grateful to Victor. Jack points out that Lily's also back where she belongs and Nikki's happy at Chancellor. She'll soar if Victor leaves her to do her thing. Nikki muses, all's well that ends well. Jack says not exactly. Victor has to leave Claire and Kyle alone. Only then can there be peace between their two families again. Nikki warns that convincing Victor to leave Claire and Kyle alone won't be easy. She hates that he's being so stubborn about it, but he thinks he's protecting her. Jack warns he'll only push her away. He complains that Victor doesn't want him to be happy, and if that includes his granddaughter being collateral damage, so be it. He wants Nikki's help to advocate for the young lovers. Nikki coos, "You are so romantic, Jack Abbott." She's all for supporting true love, but if this all crashes down, she'll be the one who has to face Victor's wrath. Jack asks, "Since when are you afraid of Victor's wrath?" In their suite, Kyle warns Claire they have to let the bosses know they're not coming in before they can enjoy their breakfast. They pick up their phones to send texts. At society, Nikki tells Jack she can handle a tantrum or two and will do whatever she can to keep Claire and Kyle from harm. Their phones ding and Jack says Kyle ate bad clams and can't come into the office today. Nikki clucks at the coincidence. Claire seems to have eaten those same clams and can't come in either. They smile at young love being divine and decide to let this go. In their suite, Claire and Kyle each get texts saying, "No worries." Claire fears they're busted. Kyle suggests they make the most of it and feeds her. She grins, "More please." He obliges. They go over this being her first time playing hooky. She's enjoying it a little too much. This can't happen again. Kyle mocks her, "Absolutely not." She hedges, "Maybe every now and then." He pulls her into his arms, and they start kissing and fall onto the bed. At society, Nikki is glad she and Jack are good. He'll always be honest with her. She will always be honest with him too. Jack quips, even if it means betraying Victor's trust. Nikki hopes it doesn't come to that. At the GCAC, Summer and Nick ask Phyllis what happened between her and Sharon. She says they talked but has to be prodded for more information. Phyllis says they talked about how much they love their kids and how they'll leave their anger and rage on the clinic floor and move on together. Summer muses, so, friends? Phyllis says not friends, but not enemies. We don't have to label it. Nick is very proud of them. Summer agrees. Phyllis laments that she let hate rule her world. She used it as a source of strength to protect her family, but only ended up hurting those she loved. Summer tries to downplay it, but Phyllis doesn't want to be let off the hook. It consumed her. Nick thinks it's courageous for them to work through all of this together. Phyllis says the past is a hell of a mirror to look into. To see all of that anger and rage looking back at you. Seeing the truth of herself, she wasn't expecting it. Summer urges her mom not to get down on herself. Not only is she taking responsibility, but she's showing up to repair the relationship with Sharon. Nick agrees. He's been in the thick of it with her and Sharon, and played his role in it, but he's seen how it hurt them both. Phyllis acknowledges that he's played ref many times. She warns them not to nominate her for sainthood. It's baby steps. Nick has seen how these past few months has taken a toll on her and Sharon. If this helps them find peace, they're all for it. Phyllis won't have peace until the person who did this to them is found and captured. Phyllis tells Nick and Sharon that their talk the other day really helped. Sharon saved her life. When push came to shove, she did whatever she could to save her. Nick says, "You saved her life too." Phyllis always thought she was a good person, but she didn't see that in Sharon. She'll admit that Sharon wasn't in her right mind when she framed Daniel. She was a victim like the rest of them. Summer thinks this new view must have meant a lot to Sharon. Phyllis says it did. She confesses she's still having nightmares. All this dread is still lurking. Nick assures her she's doing everything right by controlling what she can and taking ownership of her emotions. Phyllis repeats that she needs to see whoever did this, and look in their eyes and tell them they didn't win. Sharon comes out of the kitchen at crimson lights and finds Traci frowning in deep thought at the counter. Traci is surprised to see her after what she and Phyllis endured. Sharon needs to work. Traci is grateful they're both home safe. Sharon won't feel safe until the maniac who kidnapped them is put behind bars. Traci can't imagine what kind of person could do something so monstrous. Sharon confides she's still having nightmares. Traci apologizes for bringing it up again. Sharon assures her that talking about it helps. Traci is willing to listen. Sharon will join her for coffee. Traci sits and Sharon pours 2 cups and joins her. Traci says Kyle told them that she and Phyllis were held captive at an abandoned psychiatric clinic. Alan would have a field day with their captor's choice of venues. Sharon thought the same thing. The captor must have had a background in psychology. It makes sense as the mind games they were forced to play were clinical, as though they were devised by someone who knows how to manipulate behavior. Traci looks disturbed. Sharon says he or she was all about controlling them and playing God. They never saw their face, just a voice coming through an intercom. Traci asks about the mind games. Sharon says they were forced to solve riddles and play the game to survive. Traci finds this all so frightening. Sharon confides that they had to save each other's lives, and the only way was to solve the riddle correctly. Traci exclaims, "What kind of monster does something so sick just for the own entertainment?" Sharon explains it was a psychological experiment. They were nothing more than lab rats. It kind of seemed like they wanted them to resolve their issues. Whoever it was had very specific information about their history, which led them to think that their captor may have known them. Sharon notices Traci's engagement ring and gushes. Traci says she and Alan are engaged, but it's hard to be happy when people she cares about have been through such a horrible ordeal. Sharon assures her that the maniac specifically came after them. She hopes Traci's not worried about her own safety. Traci just finds the whole thing so horrible and bizarre. Sharon admits it's been one blow after the next lately. She'll focus on the silver linings. She and Phyllis worked together and saw the good in each other. Traci likes hearing this. Sharon confides that they nearly died twice and tells her about them setting off the alarm that triggered the gas. Traci flashes to the notification on Alan's phone that said, "Remote device unexpectedly detached. Gas expulsion stopped." Traci asks, "You were intentionally gassed?" Sharon nods. If Nick and Chance hadn't got there when they did, she and Phyllis would be dead. It never occurred to them that their captor had set precautions in place in case they tried to escape. Traci whispers, "Deadly precautions." Traci thanks Sharon for sharing her story with her. Sharon actually thinks it would be very helpful if she and Phyllis could speak to Alan about it. Traci balks, "But you're a trained professional." Sharon can't psychoanalyze herself. Alan is just so insightful and brilliant. He might be able to help them catch the kidnapper. Traci explains that he's in Paris right now. Sharon asks if she thinks he'd make time for them when he comes back. Traci is sure that he wouldn't mind. Sharon thinks that Alan did so well helping her with the hypnosis that he just might be her lucky charm. Traci hopes they catch this person soon. Sharon says no one is safe until this madman is taken off the streets. Sharon joins Phyllis, Summer, and Nick at the GCAC, and everyone chirps, "Good morning." Phyllis remarks that it might be challenging to make this new world order happen. Sharon asks if she's having second thoughts. Phyllis assures her she's ready to make it happen. Sharon hopes their kidnapper will be flushed out from under whatever rock they crawled under. Nick admits he was nervous leaving them alone at Crimson Lights. He thought they might trash the place. Sharon teases that she and Phyllis have experience with that. Talk turns to Traci turning up at the coffee house. Sharon says she was so sympathetic, she shared a bit of what they went through with her. She realized it was cathartic, and it might be helpful for Phyllis too. Alan is a genius therapist. He just might have some insight into whoever it was who took them. Phyllis is all for getting closer to the truth and wants to know when they can talk to this Alan. Sharon says he's out of town for now, but he will be back. She enthuses, "Wouldn't it be amazing if Alan Laurent was the key we need to help bring this ordeal to an end?" At Crimson Lights, Traci leaves Alan a voicemail and hopes he had a good flight over, but she can't come over right away. "Why would you give me a call when you get this? And I love you." She disconnects and wails, "This is not possible. This just cannot be." Jack comes in and finds Traci crying on the patio. She wails, "Oh Jack, I need you to tell me that I'm losing my mind. I need you to tell me that I haven't made the biggest mistake of my life." Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Pulse Canvas. It's me, Julie here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the week of March 31 April 4 reveal that Martin Laurent aka Alan Laurent will plot his next move while Sally Spectra's jealousy flares. Billy Abbott's risky behavior will also cause problems. So here's what Y and R fans can expect. For starters, it looks like Sally will react to the news that Billy lied to her. Billy wasn't honest about his link to Aristotle Dumas and what's really going on between them. Aristotle and Billy have locked in a deal, so Sally will inevitably be hurt when she realizes Billy deceived her about that. To make matters worse, it seems Sally will find out Billy spilled the secret to Phyllis Summers. Sally may find herself wondering if this is what it's going to be like from now on. As long as Phyllis and Billy are working together, they're bound to hide things and grow even closer. Sally's jealousy will flare as a result, but she'll also deal with more suspicions regarding Aristotle. Sally will have intensifying trust issues when it comes to Billy as well, so trouble could be brewing in their romance. As for Phyllis, she'll remain drawn to Billy as a source of comfort, following her captivity crisis with Sharon Newman. Billy may struggle to set the appropriate boundaries since he won't want Phyllis to feel neglected during a difficult time. Sharon is coping better than Phyllis at this point and will remain hopeful about their first steps toward peace. It'll be interesting to see how long Phyllis and Sharon's truce actually lasts. Other Y and R spoilers say Martin will plot his next move, but the walls could be closing and thanks to Traci Abbott putting the twin impersonation clues together. Will Chance Chancellor also spot Alan on the hardware store security footage and essentially confirm Traci's theory? Will Ashley Abbott be in danger since Alan is supposedly in Paris? Regardless, Traci may feel the need to set a trap for Martin and help the authorities catch him. Jack Abbott will worry about the threat Martin still poses, so stay tuned for all the mayhem to come. Once Amy Louise, Nate Hastings, and Damian Kane make it back from Chicago, some conflict could erupt. Lily Winters and Devin Winters may hurl some accusations at Damian based on Victor Newman's recent updates, but Victor is really manipulating them as part of a sneaky plan. That doesn't mean Damian is trustworthy, but Victor's goal here is to use Devin and Lily in his scheme to draw out Aristotle. Of course, Victor doesn't realize Aristotle and Billy have a plot of their own in the works, but he may get some clues soon. Although Victor may make more predictions about Billy's failure at Abbott Communications, Aristotle's partnership with Billy could be a game changer. The Young and the Restless spoilers say the week of March 31–April 4 will bring some highs and lows, so stick with the CBS soap. Where you want to be for the hottest Young and the Restless spoilers, updates, and news, so stop by frequently for more info. The Young and the Restless spoilers suggest that the old adage, "The enemy of my enemy is my friend," always rings true in the land of Genoa City. During the week of March 24–28, Victor Newman will confide in his trusted attorney, Michael Baldwin, and reveal that he has a history with Aristotle Dumas, and it isn't a pleasant one. In fact, the mustache will admit that the mysterious tycoon is an enemy of his. It's only a matter of time before Jack catches wind of who's throwing his company under the bus, and he will be ready to lash out. Jack may also become privy to the information of Victor had a bad history with Dumas and decide to reach out to the mysterious billionaire. Then again, as Victor just had his people looking into Damian Kane for Lily Winters, which led to Dumas' connection to Nate Hastings' half-brother, could Dumas reach out to Jack? As the mustache and Aristotle have bad blood as it is, if he finds out Victor is snooping in his business, he may contact Jack or get Damian to reach out, looking for an alliance to bring Newman down. In many ways, Victor brought all this on himself. If he just left well enough alone, Jack would never entertain the idea of striking back. However, sadly, Victor has foamed at the mouth for revenge against Jack ever since Abbott's controversial move to fall off the wagon while with Nikki Newman last year at a GCAC hotel room. Nikki was in the thick of her battle against alcohol and watching Jack almost OD shook her straight. She headed to rehab and cleaned up her act. Victor viewed this as a mistake. After all, Jack risked his life and Nikki's too with that stunt. Still, his constant pursuit of Jack may end up being his downfall, especially if Dumas reaches out for a partnership. Two wealthy powerhouses versus one will outweigh the mustache's odds for success. Are you interested in learning more about Aristotle Dumas? Comment below. Check out the CBS Soap Daily to catch all the drama in Genoa City and visit CTS, often for the best Young and the Restless updates, news, and spoilers. The Young and the Restless spoilers document that Phyllis Summers appears to be suffering from mental overload. A doctor would need to determine if she suffered a nervous breakdown conclusively. Sharon Newman is handling her back-to-back kidnappings with greater agility than Phyllis, which is not a slam against Stafford's character. Nick Newman volunteered that assessment to Phyllis to successfully convince her to meet with Sharon. The talk-out session that began at Crimson Lights was a compassionate idea that Nick pulled off. Summer Newman's presence also helped her mother to go along with what would have been a hard no reaction just weeks ago. Transformation underway. Alan Laurent ran away. He did that after Traci Abbott accidentally learned he'd received multiple security breach alerts on his smartphone. The audience knows that Alan masterminded Phyllis and Sharon's kidnappings. Fans also see this character could be Alan's assumed dead brother, Martin Laurent. Part of Daytime is maximizing drama. So, Alan or Martin's decision to inform Traci by text that he'd flown home to Paris, France, without her to prepare for the wedding raised many eyebrows. Cousin's character may be using this time away to dispose of any incriminating evidence he has at his home and office in Paris. He is also taking a breather to reset and presumably continue to fool everyone. Phyllis railed against Sharon to Nick and Summer when they met with her, but she was reacting that way based on mental muscle memory. Nick's pitch to Phyllis worked because she knew he was right. Sharon is the only person on the planet who knows how Phyllis feels because they both experienced the same horror. However, Sharon's ability to process what happened and her willingness to take a trip with her children to Europe demonstrate that she's begun dealing with what happened. Sharon's counseling credentials also make her the right fit for Phyllis, who needs someone who understands her like only Case's character can. Daniel Romalotti's unplanned meeting with Sharon proved interesting. He's still not forgiven her for attempting to frame him for Heather Stevens' murder, but was impacted by what Sharon did for his mother. Sharon and Phyllis saving each other's lives and potential to develop their relationship to a lasting peace has, and will affect their loved ones. Daniel is the person who needs to see that Sharon isn't a monster, as Phyllis admitted when Nick pressed the issue. In recent years, Phyllis and Sharon's abduction produced great scenes in what has become one of the more surprising storylines. The probability of additionally satisfying and believable storylines for these characters' new bond is very appealing. This site is a leading source for everything linked to the Young and the Restless. Check back regularly for Y and R spoilers and news. As Sally told Billy on the latest episode of Young and Restless, he has a tell. As it turns out, the soap does as well. If you were paying close attention, you may have picked up on a hint as to why Silly will soon be headed to Splitsville. Billy saved Phyllis' life, and she's going to become a constant thorn in Sally's side as Abbott Communications gets off the ground. We're certain of it. But that's not necessarily the reason they'll break up. In fact, Phyllis may have nothing to do with it at all. In recent episodes of Young and Restless, we've learned that Billy is working with Aristotle Dumas, who just so happens to have a history of competing against Victor Newman to acquire companies. The mustache told Michael that he has beat Dumas out on numerous occasions, and we're gonna guess that didn't sit well with the mogul. Dumas blowing up Billy's phone took Sally by surprise, and she grilled the heck out of her boyfriend about it. The gist of Billy's story is that the reclusive mogul reached out to him out of the blue and won him over by sympathizing with the poor treatment he received at the hands of Victor and Jill when it came to Abbott Chancellor. That may have been true, but Billy went on to make a big gamble by lying to his lady love. Billy led Sally to believe that Dumas was not involved in his new communications venture, but his late-night phone call to the big wheel revealed that he is, in fact, reporting back to Dumas about his progress ahead of the launch. It wasn't mentioned in the conversation if the mogul had made a financial investment in Abbott Communications, but it was crystal clear that they had struck a deal. Billy referred to a quid pro quo situation they'd discussed and told him, "I've got the quid if you've got the quo." The fact that Billy is updating Dumas on his progress suggests that he's much more involved in Abbott Communications than Billy led Sally to believe, and he told her nothing about a quid pro quo deal. Sally knew something was afoot and baited the hook relentlessly, but Billy deliberately left her fishing in the dark. It's called a lie of omission. Unfortunately for the future of their relationship, the lies are starting to pile up. Billy straight up told Sally he wasn't planning to use Abbott Communications to go after Victor and Adam, but that's exactly what he's doing. Now he's told a lie of omission about teaming up with, or accepting help from, Victor's adversary, Dumas. As Sally pointed out during their conversation, Billy made a big stink about them not keeping secrets and being honest with each other. so it's not hard to see how he's setting himself up for a one-way ticket to Splitsville. On the heels of Adam lying to Sally and gaslighting her about his one-night stand with Chelsea, new lies from the one man who knows how deeply that hurt her are not going to go over well. If Sally becomes irritated and upset by Billy's bond with Phyllis, only for it to then come to light that he lied to her on an ongoing basis, well, we don't like their chances at all. In the world of daytime soap operas, a few things are certain. 1. Evil twins will surface at the most inopportune time. 2. Babies will get switched to birth. 3. You don't slap Victor Newman, the young and the restless's moustached self-made billionaire. The first two are non-negotiable, but no 3 isn't necessarily set in stone. At least it wasn't for Heather Tom, who played Victor's firstborn, Victoria Newman, on The Young and the Restless from 1990 to 2003. Tom had already been on the show for more than a decade when she delivered the slap heard around the soap world to her TV dad, played by Eric Breeden. Heather Tom as the young and the restless heroine Victoria Newman in 1992. CBS via Getty. No one gets to slap Victor Newman, Tom, 49, tells people when reminded of the memorable scene. And so it was a big deal, and I was scared. I was like, oh my God. I was scared, literally. I knew that this was coming up, she adds. I was like, well, I don't really know where this thing's going to go afterwards, so I guess we're just going to jump in. But yeah, it played very well. It's something that people definitely remember, but I do vividly remember shooting that, and yeah, it was a thing. In the scene, which aired in the early 2000s, Victoria confronts Victor after learning that he has run her boyfriend Diego Gutierrez out of their fictional hometown of Genoa City. Although Victor and Victoria's relationship sometimes turned stormy over the years, Tom has fond memories of sharing scenes with Breeden during her time on Y&R. I loved working with Eric so much because you kind of never know, Tom says. You never really knew where the scene was going to go. And it was so exciting, and it was such a great learning experience because you really had to listen and be on your toes and watch for or follow along. It's an amazing acting exercise. Tom won 2 Daytime Emmys for her work on Y&R since 2007. She's been playing Katie Logan on Y&R's sister soap, The Bold and the Beautiful, and picked up 4 more Emmys along the way. From left, Annika Knoll, Heather Tom and Catherine Kelly Lang on the March 27 episode of The Bold and the Beautiful Bill and Ashita/CBS. Looking back on The Bold and the Beautiful's surprising guest stars. And with the March 27 episode, Tom hit an impressive milestone, becoming the first woman to write, direct, and act in the same episode of a daytime show. In doing so, she joined an exclusive club of women across daytime and primetime that includes Amy Poehler and Gillian Anderson. In recent years, she's appeared on-screen less regularly while focusing more on directing and writing. To date, she has directed 36 episodes on B&B and written 6. In a stunning twist that shakes the foundation of Genoa City, Victor Newman drops a bombshell revelation to Michael Baldwin. Aristotle Dumas is not just an ominous name from his past, but his long-lost twin brother. For years, whispers about Aristotle circulated through the highest levels of power, painting him as a shadowy figure with a mysterious connection to Victor. Now, those rumors are confirmed, and the truth is even darker than anyone imagined. Victor, known for his ruthless ambition and impenetrable exterior, has always been haunted by the specter of Aristotle. Despite his vast empire and unmatched control, the mere mention of his brother's name strikes fear into the heart of the powerful mogul. Behind closed doors, Victor confesses to Michael the chilling truth: Aristotle is not only alive, but poses a real threat to everything he has built. Nikki, ever perceptive, has long suspected that Victor carried a burden far greater than his corporate battles. She has seen glimpses of regret in his eyes whenever the subject of Aristotle arises. This revelation, however, confirms her deepest fears, that Victor's past is catching up to him in a way no one can control. The question now is whether Victor can outmaneuver a brother who knows his darkest secrets. Meanwhile, Victor's closest allies, including Lily, Devin, and Nate, scramble to contain the fallout. They work tirelessly to discredit any sign of Aristotle's return, launching a secret counteroffensive to prevent the truth from spreading. But as tensions rise, one question lingers. How far will Aristotle go to reclaim the life he believes Victor stole from him? As the battle lines are drawn, the stakes couldn't be higher. With a vengeful twin lurking in the shadows, Victor's empire is more vulnerable than ever, and the fight for power is just beginning. The battle for daytime TV dominance is heating up, and the young and the restless might be facing trouble. Despite remaining the top-rated soap, recent figures reveal a concerning trend. The show experienced a 3.54% drop in the coveted 18-49 demographic, though it still draws an impressive 3.18 million viewers. However, with new competition emerging, Y and R's reign may be in jeopardy. Hot on its heels is The Bold and the Beautiful, holding steady with a 0.25 demo rating and 2.64 million viewers. While B and B's decline has been less dramatic, fans are growing tired of repetitive storylines, especially the never-ending love triangle between Brooke, Ridge, and Taylor. Viewers are also losing patience with the seemingly immortal Sheila Carter, whose constant resurrections are pushing the limits of believability. Meanwhile, a new contender is shaking things up. Beyond the Gates has made a bold entrance, matching B and B's 0.25 demo rating and attracting 1.81 million viewers, a remarkable feat for a show still in its first month. With its fresh storytelling and intriguing characters, this newcomer could pose a real threat to the long-established soaps if it continues to gain traction. General Hospital is holding on but struggling to keep up. With a 0.21 demo rating and 1.85 million viewers, it lacks the powerhouse numbers needed to challenge the other heavyweights. Despite its loyal fan base, the show hasn't delivered the kind of gripping drama that draws in new viewers. The big question now, can the young and the restless recover its lost viewers, or will Beyond the Gates be the show that finally dethrones it? Stay tuned, daytime TV might be in for a major shakeup. Genoa City is about to be rocked by one of the most shocking twists in the young and the restless history. Phyllis Summers, the fiery, unpredictable, and always scheming redhead, could be facing her final moments. But is this truly the end for Phyllis? Or is there another shocking twist lurking beneath the surface? For months, Phyllis has been tangled in a web of deception, betrayal, and dangerous secrets. Her long-standing feud with Diane Jenkins reached deadly heights, and now it seems Phyllis is paying the ultimate price. Rumors are swirling that Phyllis will make a heartbreaking exit, leaving behind a trail of devastation. But is this truly a tragic farewell, or is she faking her death once again to escape the chaos she created? Phyllis has burned many bridges in Genoa City, but if this is truly the end, will she make peace before she goes? Fans speculate that she might reach out to her children, Summer and Daniel, for one last emotional goodbye. Could this also be a chance for her to finally reconcile with Nick Newman, the man who has always held a piece of her heart? And what about Jack Abbott? Their history is complicated, passionate, and filled with heartbreak. Could Phyllis' supposed death push Jack back into Diane's arms for good? Of course, this is The Young and the Restless, where no one is truly dead unless a body is found, and even then, anything is possible. Phyllis has faked her death before, and some fans believe she might be staging her demise as a final act of revenge against Diane. Could Phyllis be plotting the ultimate comeback, watching from the shadows as her enemies let their guards down? Or will she return just in time to expose a shocking secret that could change everything? One thing's for sure, Phyllis' departure will send shockwaves through Genoa City. Whether this is truly the end or just another elaborate scheme, fans won't want to miss a single moment of the drama. Wings Hauser, a star of The Young and the Restless and the father of Yellowstone's Cole Hauser, has died at 77. Daughter Bright Hauser told The Hollywood Reporter that the death occurred at his home in Santa Monica, Calif, on March 15, following his years-long struggle with COPD, which had required an oxygen tank. The late Hauser's wife, Collie Lilly, made an announcement on social media. Movie icon Wings Hauser took flight in the arms of his film and music partner, Collie Lilly Hauser, at their studio this weekend, the Post began. Born in Hollywood, proud Academy member and prouder son of Academy Award-winning writer, director, producer Dwight A. Hauser and loving mother Geraldine T. Hauser, Wings Hauser's one-of-a-kind, legendary career spanned 58 years in movies, TV, and music, working alongside many of the greatest artists in the industry and earning their respect. EW has reached out to a representative for Cole Hauser. Hauser's long list of credits was filled with appearances on TV shows such as Hunter, Airwolf the A-Team, Jag, and Walker, Texas Ranger. He did longer stints on the series China Beach, on which he played LT Call/Mac Miller in 1990 and 1991, and Roseanne. He played Ty Tilden, a neighbor to the Connor family, on several episodes of the sitcom in 1992 and 1993. Over the next 3 years, Hauser was on a half-dozen episodes of Beverly Hills 90,210, portraying J.J. Jones, a bounty hunter who worked with Luke Perry's character Dylan to get back the fortune that had been stolen from him. On Y&R, Hauser first played Greg Foster in 1977 through 1981, but he came back to the part for multiple episodes in 2010. The son of actor and writer Dwight Hauser, who fell victim to the Hollywood blacklist, according to THR, and Geraldine, won his nickname in school, where he played the wingback position. His real name was Gerald Dwight Hauser. While he found himself homeless in the 70s, his luck changed in 1975, when he dropped an album of the easy-listening tunes of the era and appeared on an episode of TV crime drama Canon. Episodes of shows such as Beretta and Emergency soon followed. Through the years, he could be seen on Bones, The Mentalist, Cold Case, Monk, House, Arlie Dollar, and more. He earned 2 of his final credits on Castle and Rizzoli and Isles in 2016. In addition to a prolific career in television, Hauser starred in movies including Norman Mailer's Tough Guys Don't Dance, Vice Squad, and 1999's Oscar-nominated Michael Mann film The Insider. The Post from his wife, whom THR reported he married in 2002, requested that, in lieu of flowers or cards, tributes be made to the company Collie Lilly Indies, in ongoing support for current and future projects, by the award-winning sustainable indie film and music studio, a sea life and butterfly sanctuary hand-built by the Hausers.